Hi, I'm Katie Halcrow with Power Up Prep, and I'm super excited today to take you through some tips and strategies to help you power up your ACT. If this is your first time with us, first, welcome. Second, check out the link below. There, you're going to find the ACT questions and the note sheets that you can do along with these videos. All right, so let's get those materials together, and we're going to be ready to power up. All right, so we've done the first two of the big three already. So we've done separating full sentences and we've done colons. We've talked about them. But now we're going to talk about comma hugs. So what are comma hugs? You might say, like, what does that mean? Well, comma hugs are commas that hug. So they're like a hug for a phrase that's part of a full sentence. So you might have, like, for example, I might say, my husband, who is not a morning person, drinks a lot of coffee. But I would say it, my husband, comma, who is not a morning person, comma, drinks a lot of coffee. So that phrase that's in the middle of the sentence, who is not a morning person, that is comma hugged because it means we can pull it out of the sentence and we can still read through the full sentence. So if you use a comma hug, you have the first part of your full sentence, then you have your comma hugged phrase, and then you have your second part of the full sentence. And that comma hug phrase can be pulled out. So if you go like this, and you like comma hug your phrase, and then you pull it out, it's a good way to remember. So comma hug phrase can be pulled out of the sentence and you can read right through it. Now, there's something that operates exactly like a comma hug. There's actually two things that operate exactly like a comma hug. The first one is dash hug. So if you have two dashes, they operate exactly like a comma hug. So you have a dash, dash, instead of comma, comma, but it's around the same phrase. So my husband, dash, who is not a morning person, dash, drinks a lot of coffee. One other thing I want to mention is that you need to check two things. So not only can you pull it out of the sentence, which we already talked about, but you also should be pausing on either side. So my husband, who's not a morning person, drinks a lot of coffee. You see how there's a pause after husband and after person? That indicates that we do need that comma hug or dash hug there around it. If we were supposed to read through it without pausing, then that means that that information is essential. And so we wouldn't actually have comma hugs. Even if the sentence would work with the phrase pulled out, it would be essential information to understanding the sentence, so we would leave it in. By the way, that sentence is true. I don't know if I told you that before, but it's true. All right, and then the last way that comma hugs operate, so there's comma hugs, dash hugs, and then parentheses. So we could say the same exact sentence, but rather than using dashes or commas, we just put parentheses around that phrase. So my husband, parentheses, who's not a morning person, parentheses, drinks a lot of coffee. There's only two things to remember about this. First one is you can't combine them. So we couldn't say my husband, dash, who is not a morning person, comma, drinks a lot of coffee. That doesn't work. You either need two commas, two dashes, or two parentheses. The other thing is we can't combine them. So we can't use parentheses and use comma hugs around the parentheses because that's redundant. So just make sure that you're not using more than one at once and you're not combining them. And make sure that you can read through the full sentence with that comma hugged part out. If that's the case, then you need the comma hug and you should be all set. All right, let's get to some practice. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them below. We love to hear from you. Also, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any of our curriculum or other tips and tricks that can help you power up your ACT.